Welcome to the NFL on CBS from this spectacular venue, Cowboys Stadium, where today the Tennessee Titans at 2-2 come in to take on the Dallas Cowboys at 1-2. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. The roof is closed. It's a gorgeous day here in Dallas, but they've closed the roof. Cowboys and Titans about to get started. Dallas coming off a bye, Phil. A lot of concern around these parts, though, after they lost their first 2 games of the season, back with a win against Houston before the bye.
Yeah, I think a lot of people said, even the Cowboys said, that the fact they wanted to keep that momentum going. And, of course, they took the week off, Jim. We talked to Wade Phillips and the players this week. He says, nope, we've been crisp all week long in practice. They expect to come out and play well.
Well, the Titans just won the coin flip, and they want the football. So there again, you see the roof closed. It's in the upper 80s and clear, but we'll keep it real comfortable here today for a little football coming your way on CBS. So the Titans will see them first. Vince Young coming back to his home state. David Beeler will be kicking for the Cowboys. There's Vince Young. Damian Williams bouncing around the Cowboys, and there is Mariani, the rookie, who has had 1 run back for a touchdown, but 2 fumbles, including a crucial mishandle in the late going last week in a loss against the Broncos. The numbers last week against Denver, a game played up in Nashville, certainly looked like they would have added up to a Titan win. They had 6 sacks. They gave up only 19 yards rushing, but they lost to drop back to 2-2. Here we get started. Beeler sends it down, and that's his first touchback earned of the season. Beeler, the kick man, who had 29 such kick-off returns last year, downed as this one is. Here's Vince Young, his 50th NFL game. His first ever start came against the Cowboys 4 years ago. A game that Dallas won by 31. They've got a change in the Titan lineup in left guard. Harris out with injury. Velasco gets his first career start. And what will Chris Johnson do? He's had 2 big games like we saw most of last year. 2 subpar games in the losses. And that's a pass intended for Scaife. Incomplete at his ankles. Well, the Dallas Cowboys defense has not allowed a 350-yard game by the opposition in the last 17. That's the longest streak in the league. Olshansky up front. Of course, the big man here is DeMarcus Ware. He had 3 sacks in the last outing, tying his personal best. And it's ball in that secondary with Sensabaugh, Newman, and Jenkins. And 2nd down and 10. Delay give. Chris Johnson just back to the line, +1. Let's get a little philosophy here from my man Phil Simms.
Well, I think you saw it, Jim, the very first play of the game. The Titans want to throw. A lot of teams blitz, and when you do that, what's it do? It gives you one-on-one coverage down the field. It makes it easy for Vince Young to determine who he wants to throw the football to. And I think the Titans, trying to take some pressure off of Chris Johnson, would love to throw the football with success to open it up for him.
Damian Williams, rookie wide receivers in the game, and there's some contact, and the ball is dropped, and there is a flag dropped as well, intended for Kenny Britt. Mike Jenkins was holding on.
We see it so much when we watch games down the NFL, and when we do them, Jim, when you're going to play tight coverage, NFL teams.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. Automatic first down.
NFL teams throw it up. Why? Because the receivers in the NFL now are so talented. Kenny Britt has him beat the whole way. And the little incidental trip at the end, the fact that Jenkins falls, probably saves a touchdown.
That's a 35-yard penalty, and here comes Johnson. Off the right side, heavy traffic, 2 yards. How about Chris Johnson? And the 2 losses held to 34 and 53 yards. Of course, had that breathtaking 2,000-yard season last year, set the all-time NFL record for scrimmage yards, rushing and receiving, over 2,500, topping Marshall Faulk's previous best.
Well, I don't think there's any worry when you talk to the Titans about Chris Johnson. The talent's still there. They're patient with the run game. They'll keep giving him opportunities. And with his talent, it's going to break sooner or later.
Fake to Johnson. Young has time. Zips it way wide. Kenny Britt. But another flag is down in the secondary.
It looked like a lot of contact.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Automatic first down.
Well, that's 2 now on Mike Jenkins, the former first-rounder out of South Florida.
Well, Jim, I'll say this now. When you look at the Tennessee Titans, well, it's just blatant. There's no doubt either one. You can't throw your hand up and say, oh, bad call. They're easy calls. But when you play the Titans, they're not noted for the passing game, but these are very talented wide receivers.
So a new set of downs near the 30, and Young's pass incomplete. That's Newman coming across and crashing in on Nate Washington.
And I'll tell you this, as fans sit at home and watch, the Titans see so much man-to-man coverage, and the reason is, one, people don't expect them to throw it a lot, but they want to get that extra guy up there to stop Chris Johnson. So for Vince Young, he drops back and just picks out, hey, which guy do I want to throw it to? I think it's that easy.
Young has thrown it 4 times, drawing 2 pass interference calls plus 2 incompletions. As a 2nd and 10, it's C.J. Chris Johnson working the middle for about 5.
Now, Chris Johnson has his own unique style. I will say this, as I've watched him run this year, oh, that's close. What a cutback. You can, when he gets any bit of daylight, he can stop, wait, and then accelerate and restart quicker than anybody in the NFL. And you're a defensive coordinator against the Tennessee Titans. You hold your breath every time he touches it because it can go the whole way.
Well, he had 3 last year for 85 yards or longer for scores. Young rolling out, throwing it toward the end zone, and Washington makes the catch. And it's going to be a flag that won't matter. It's going to be against the Cowboys. Nate Washington, the former Steeler, jumping up into the air and out-battling 2 Cowboys.
Pass interference. Defense, number 36. That penalty is declined. Result of the plays, touchdown.
Excellent throw. Good job by Vince Young. It's a blitz again. Look at the coverage and look at the defenders chasing wide receivers. Skandrick never sees the football. Every passing situation so far in the game, the Cowboys blitzed, and Tennessee was ready for it.
Cowboys secondary just atrocious here at the start. A couple of pass interference calls, plus that one would have been one. A little inside snap, but Hearn gets it down. Baronis adds the point. Boy, Skandrick completely turned around. Nice effort, too, by Washington. 7-0. Well, that's the first time, including the postseason, the Cowboys have given up any opening drive points in the last 9 games, aided by a couple of penalty calls against the Cowboys. Quite a start here for the Titans.
The Titans are going to let them know right away, you want to blitz? Okay, we're going to pressure you with our wide receivers down the field.
Here's the kick. And Quasi is going to let that one. Quasi's going to let that one be down and brought out to the 20. Baronis with the boot. What happened here?
Well, nothing happens, Jim. Here comes another blitz. Obvious passing situation. Instead of sitting back and making him find a spot to throw the football into, no, make it easy. Vince Young on the rollout, expecting the blitz, gives his receiver a chance, and Jeff Fisher loves it. Let's get on top to start this game, quiet the crowd down, and get our team believing in what we're trying to do here today.
Yeah, that's a way to do it. Jeff Fisher coaching in his 262nd game today, which ties our Bill Power for 9th most all time. Romo on first down, and it's almost picked. He was looking for Miles Austin. Tony Romo's thrown a touchdown in 15 consecutive games. Romo 39-19 in his career as a starter. That's a good mark. His line, well, Flozell Adams. He anchored down that left side for the last 11 years. Now it belongs to Doug Free, with Adams going on to the Steelers. And Roy Williams, his best game as a Cowboy came in the last one. Over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the win down at Houston. Here they go with Miles Austin. Out to the 24 to be 3rd and 6. We've got an update back to Greg in New York.
Jim and Phil, Carson Palmer threw 3 interceptions today off of his third one. Connor Barth from 31 yards out with 1 second remaining. That gives Tampa Bay a 24-21 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Jim and Phil, back to you.
How about the upstart Tampa Bay Bucks, now 3-1, and the Bengals now back-to-back losses against the Browns and the Bucks. Cincinnati team that won its division last year. Marion Barber, the running back, on 3rd down and 6. And Romo looks right side. He's got an open man. It's Austin. He's got the first out at the 40. A gain of 16.
Tony Romo afforded a second look that time against the defense. It doesn't come open right away. Nice job on the outside. Miles Austin, the Tennessee Titans know 3rd down. That's the guy that Tony Romo would love to go to. Of course he would. Got a lot of talent. He catches it every time you throw it to him.
It's Jones. He's got an opening. He's into the Tennessee side of the field, and now at the 40, that's a rush of 20.
Couple things on that run. One, the Cowboys, it's been in the papers. Everybody knows. Let's get the ball to Felix Jones. Jason Witten drives his guy all the way down inside. And even though the Tennessee Titans have these wide defensive ends, they want you to think that you can't go outside. The Cowboys said, well, some teams have had a little success outside this year against this Titans defense, and they did right off the start.
That's the longest run of the season for the Cowboys. Goes for 20. Pass. Oh, it's dropped by Martellus Bennett. We were at practice on Friday. They ran that same play, and he dropped it then.
He did. You know, you were paying more attention. I don't remember seeing it because they were pretty crisp on. But what happened is Tony Romo had to throw it a lot higher and softer than he wanted to. And the one thing about this Tennessee defensive line, they're tall, long arms, so you have to be careful when you're throwing in between the tackles or throwing over the top of them because they knock a lot of balls down.
I got to keep you awake at practice from now on.
I hear you.
2nd down and 10. Take the end around. Romo looking down the field. He's looking for the rookie, and it's over the head of Des Bryant. Michael Griffin was running with him, but Bryant had a step. Here is the Tennessee Titan defense. Came into the week tied for the NFL lead in sacks with 16. McGrath off a 4-game suspension, his first action of the season. Werner starting at the corner. Rookie out of UCLA, drafted in the 4th round. He's a good one. 11 balls last week and 3 passes defended. A 3rd and 10. Now here comes Zach. This time it was Jason Jones for a loss of 8, seeing what they do best.
You got it right. That's what they do best. First off, it's from the outside. It's William Hayes makes Tony Romo step up. And you said it from the inside. Jason Jones, he is terrific. He is having a great year so far rushing the passer.
Matt McBriar, that's the first time Romo's been sacked since the 2nd quarter of the 1st game. He's been sacked only 1 time all year. So that's been week 1 and quarter number 2. Breaks a 10-quarter streak. Fair catch made by Mariani. 34-yard punt. Keeps him inside the 20. 7-0 Tennessee, and they'll have the ball when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint, the Now Network. And by the all-new Volkswagen Jetta. It's great for the price of good. That's Das Auto.
Got over 120,000 right here in this little area in Arlington. Ballpark at Arlington over there on the right, where the Tampa Devil Rays have come back from 2 games down to send the series back to Tampa. That game 5-2 final. It's Vince Young dumping it off to Craig Stevens and tiptoes near another first. That last drive, they went right down the field. thanks to a couple of penalties and a touchdown toss.
Yeah, 2 big penalties. That was a lot of the yardage. Then another blitz, another penalty, but that won't count. And just a nice catch by Nate Washington. And I think it's very evident the Tennessee Titans, which we were kind of told, look out, they're going to come out and throw the football. And why not? They have a lot of talent at wide receiver.
As Chris Johnson cuts back to the right, runs into a couple of Cowboys after a gain of 2. Don't miss fantasy football today post game. It's live tonight at 7:30 Eastern. The web's only Sunday night fantasy post game show is on CBSSports.com. Of course, this month around the National Football League, raising awareness for breast cancer awareness. A lot of pink worn by the players.
Yep, great cause. It's amazing, a lot of these pink shoes and things look good with these players.
2nd down and 8. Young trying to dance out of it. Gets back just to the 25. That's DeMarcus Ware in on him. Another sack for Ware, and Anthony Spencer contributed to the cause.
Now DeMarcus Ware against David Stewart. And it's initially pretty good protection, but when Vince Young steps up, Stewart doesn't know that, and DeMarcus Ware, such a good athlete, keeps hustling and gets them. This year they're falling his way, Jim. Last year he was terrific rushing the passer and early getting no reward because people just judge him just on their sacks.
Yeah, you think that's often a misleading category.
It's overrated, but.
Yep, 3rd down and long, and Young works the middle and somehow gets into the hands of Britt, whose helmet comes flying off. For a minute, I thought that might be tipped or intercepted. It gains 18.
I'm not sure it wasn't tipped, but if it was, it wasn't enough to throw it offline. And Kenny Britt, nice job, goes up. Such big targets. Nice soft throw by Vince Young. Oh, absolutely. It was.
Jason Williams got a hand on it. Still didn't take it off course.
Jason Williams coming in on 3rd down, trying to relieve the starting linebackers for the Dallas Cowboys. Get them off the field a little. They play just about every play.
Another set of downs for the Titans, and it's Vince Young right back. This time to Damian Williams, his first NFL catch. The rookie out of USC, taken in the 3rd round. We saw him right there before the opening.
Coming across the screen. Look at the linebackers. They square up. They're not looking for the crossers. And there's a little gap between the linebackers and the safeties and the corners. Vince Young lays it in there. And I was going to complain at first drive. Why would you blitz so much? It makes it too easy. Maybe I understand why. Because the zones, they just drop back, watch the quarterback. A lot of space to throw it into.
Damian Williams going to get a lot of action today. Justin Gage out. Inactive with a hamstring injury, and Chris Johnson gets past the line. There is a flag. Oh, and a vicious hit, but Chris Johnson bounces right to his feet at the 27.
Holding 61 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Big start by the Raiders. Let's get the story on that. Greg Gumbel in New York.
Jim and Phil, special teams in the news lately. Take a look at Oakland's first, a block punt for a safety, and now Brandon Myers breaks through. Hiram Eugene scores the touchdown. It is a 12-0 Oakland lead over San Diego. Back to you guys.
Wow, how about that? A touchdown, a field goal, and a safety at the start with 2 block punts by the Raiders.
How about those special teams for the San Diego Chargers? That's 3 games where they've had big problems.
From the 44 off the penalty. 1st and 20, and Young's pass wide of the mark, looking for Nate Washington. Redskins, Packers, overtime. Who wins it, Greg?
Jim, Washington wins it. 13 unanswered points. Ram Gano, 33 yards in overtime. That's the gamer. The Redskins over Green Bay by 3.
Wow, that was my partner Phil Simms' 5-star upset special today.
I don't know if it's an upset, but I thought it would be like a high-scoring game, so I don't know.
There are those who would consider that an upset. Here is Chris Johnson weaving to the 34. It'll set up 3rd and 10 from that point.
You know, the one thing about Chris Johnson, and while he's small, can he take the punishment in the NFL? When you watch him play, look at a couple things. He gets to the ground before he can get hit and take that pounding, and he's so fast. That's a good job of going into the tackles. He's just so fast, everybody kind of breaks down because they're afraid of him going by him and getting an extra 20 yards.
Javon Ringer comes in for him on 3rd down. Got to get to the 24 for the first.
Of course, another blitz.
Yeah, Cowboys blitz. And that might be another flag. Oh, it was Jenkins, and it looked like he had hold of the shoulder pad of Nate Washington. No call.
As I watch this, all the blitzes so far for the Dallas Cowboys, the one thing you notice, they are being picked up. Vince Young, look at the blitz, the linebackers up the middle, Brooking. If he'd have stood right in the middle, he would have not have had any pressure because he felt it, wanted to throw left. He drifted into the pressure, but another good job by the offensive line of the Tennessee Titans.
One of the best, if not the best. Rob Baronis from 52. He's made his last 5 from 50 plus. Last 6, actually. And this will be number 7. 7 in a row from outside 50. Rob Baronis delivers again. 10-0 Titans.
And ladies and gentlemen, now here's today's special top 10 list with my good friends Phil Simms and Jim Nantz. Take it away, boys.
All right, David, talking about top 10 because today, of course, October 10th, 2010, 10-10-10. We may be looking at a few of these type things during the course of the action today. Got a couple of Cowboys on this list, top 10.
Not bad, huh? Emmitt Smith and Tony Dorsett. Everybody was talking about 10-10-10. LaDainian Tomlinson on that list and still getting yards. I appreciate it to you, Jim, for explaining to me 10-10-10.
I did mention it the other day. You didn't get it at first.
Oh, you were mumbling.
That's what it was. Okay. And Dallas down 10. And Baronis angles this one. Akwasi with the run back to about the 27. Ruwo Suanse, the returner. We'll be right back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by ExxonMobil, taking on the world's toughest energy challenges.
The MetLife blimp providing the aerial coverage outside. And look for the MetLife blimps teaming up with the NFL on CBS for coverage all season long. In fact, we'll be back here in Dallas at the end of the month on Halloween. Jacksonville will be coming in taking on the Cowboys. Jacksonville with a 36-26 win at Buffalo today. Here's Felix Jones, who was the honorary captain yesterday for his alma mater, the Arkansas Razorbacks, who played in this building against the Texas A&M Aggies and defeated them by a touchdown. The Razorbacks, that is, the victor. There were a few sporting activities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this weekend.
Few might be an understatement.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yesterday it must have been about 1 million spectators across the state watching football and baseball.
Metroplex alive. Second down here. That's back to Felix Jones for a short gain. Give him a yard. Here's a little sampling for you. Of course, the playoff action with the Rays and the Rangers. 2 games, 100,000. They set a attendance record last night. Razorbacks and Aggies here. Baylor and Texas Tech down at the Cotton Bowl in a wild one. It's a shootout there. TCU hosted a game. Blowout win by the Frogs. Tulsa and SMU. North Texas hosting Arkansas State. Of course, the Super Bowl is coming to this very building at the end of this season.
It's a great building for the Super Bowl for all the things that we want the people who attend it.
3rd down for Dallas. Romo has Austin. Nice move by Austin to pick up an additional 8 or 9 yards. He sidestepped Michael Griffin. Takes it 28 yards.
Tony Romo has the time, but watch Miles Austin as he comes down the field and here comes across the middle. Tony Romo has to be patient until he crosses the defender. He has to anticipate. So as soon as he saw the defense drop back in this zone, he goes, oh, right in the middle. I know where the open space is. He anticipated. Nice throw, nice touch for Miles Austin.
Tony spreads him out. Got Jones in a slot to the left. Going to shift Witten to the right side. And the Cowboys complete another one. It's Bennett. He has a first down at the 30.
Spread them out. When you do that, it's easy for the quarterback to see. And one thing that the Tennessee Titans talked about when they talked about Tony Romo, how fast he makes decisions, how he gets it out of his hand, and how tough he is to get to sack. If you're going to sack him, third down, because that's when he'll hold it to try to make the play to keep the drive going. He's been in this offense basically his whole career.
And they're closed in on Felix Jones in a hurry. Tulloch and Werner hold them to 3. How about some philosophy on this side?
Well, I think the thing when you watch the Cowboys, Tony Romo, like I said, knows the offense so well. He's able to look off defenders. He looks off the safety. And what does that do? It just creates a little bit more of a throwing lane for him to throw it to Roy Williams. They get the touchdown. And that's what he does. He helps receivers, lets them catch it where they don't take big hits because he looks off defenders for them.
Roy Williams, who had his best game as a Cowboy last time out. Romo going down the field to Witten, almost able to pull it in. But closing in on him, Chris Hope denied the catch.
Well, the coverage was tight. He looked to his right, throws to his left. Very careful. Jason Witten, he throws it high because that's a good job by Tulloch. Staying in the throwing lane where that was the only spot Tony Romo could throw the football. Usually when a receiver's covered like that in the NFL, if he'd have thrown that behind Jason Witten by 1 yard, it'd have been an easy catch. But when you lead them, it makes it much tougher because they see the safety coming over.
3rd and 8. Got to get to the 20 for a first. Romo spins away. He's in trouble again. And the Titans have a second sack here in this first quarter. It's Chris Hope who got to him first.
Obvious passing situation again. It is a blitz. Look at all the movement by the Tennessee Titans defensive front. And he's going to throw it to Miles Austin, but he decides not to at the last second. Fuller on the coverage all over him.
David Beeler coming out to attempt one from outside of 50. Now, how about this? He has never attempted a field goal of 50-plus yards either at USC or with the Cowboys. Never. This is his first from 51. And Beeler's kick, it's a beauty. He's 1 for 1 from 50-plus. 51-yarder by David Beeler. And the Cowboys are on the board with a minute to go in the first quarter. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms. Dallas on the board with the 51-yard field goal. 52 on the other side by Barones. Of course, so crucial. Talk about turning things around a little bit here. You're down 10-0. If you miss, they take it over at the 41. Give them great starting position. Beeler on the opening kickoff earned the touchback. This one, a driving kick that hops to Mariani. The rookie from Montana is taken off, and the gap was closed in a hurry by Victor Butler. Tonight on The Amazing Race, these teams are tough and tenacious, and they know how to throw a tantrum. It's a new Amazing Race after 60 minutes tonight, only CBS, America's #1 network.
They know how to throw a tantrum. I mean, that's like, I mean, don't all children now know how to throw tantrums?
This is supposed to be grown-up stuff.
No, 50 years ago, there was no such thing. Now,
They'll give you a timeout. First down at the 33. Play action and looking for screen. Now Young gonna run with it. And he's got good yardage to the 50. Right at midfield. Vince Young takes off for 17.
Jeff Fisher said it. Trust your legs, wants him to run more. And the way they're being played on defense, he can get out. And we heard DeMarcus Ware saying never get behind him because you open up running lanes. But here's, well, DeMarcus, when you get pushed right down the line of scrimmage, now there's nobody out there. So when you're not blitzing, the 4 pass rushers have to be careful.
Going again. Oh, and Nate Washington got tangled up with Jenkins. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage. Washington was open after Jenkins fell.
They are putting pressure on this Cowboys defense.
Really on this Michael Jenkins.
Holding, 61 offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, you make your first NFL start, Fernando Velasco, and you get flagged with a holding call in the first quarter. It's actually his second hold call.
Right in the middle of your screen, 61. Oh, it's the extra time. And then when Jay Ratliff finally, it took so long for Vince Young to throw it, when he went back the other way, that's what got Velasco. But all this passing and making this defense play the way it is, it has to open up a big running lane for Chris Johnson as this game goes along.
12 seconds to go in the quarter, and it's Chris Johnson dragging a Cowboy with him, bringing Brady James with him. Gain of about 6. That's the end of the first. 10-3 Titans. We'll return to Arlington after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. This edifice opened a year ago last season, the first year of it. Cowboys Stadium, the first ever opponent in here, Jeff Fisher's Tennessee Titans in a preseason game, August the 21st, 2009. They came in here to experience this building with the Cowboys on night 1. And that's the catch. Second of the game for Damian Williams, the rookie we mentioned out of USC.
He is fast. You know about Nate Washington, Kenny Britt, #1 draft pick by the Titans. And we heard that name from the coaches and the players this week. Look out for Damian Williams.
Yeah, you got the sense there was a lot of excitement about the possibilities come Sunday for this young man.
So I haven't done one of their games, so I'm watching him warm up. And as they were warming up, I said, I can see it. Can really run and could come out of breaks. And when he's running routes, full speed.
3rd down and 7. And Young with a flag. He's hit by Ware.
Was there a face mask?
I don't know. It was a loss of a yard, so we'll see on the penalty. It's another Ware sack at the moment.
I thought I saw somebody reach up on Vince Young and maybe take his face mask.
Illegal use of hands to the face, 72 in the defense. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Stephen Bowen, number 72. Coming from the right side. Oh, the hands go up to the face mask. That's what it was.
Bill, that's the 3rd time already that the Titans have picked up a first down off of a penalty.
It was Velasco, the left guard, who he put his hand right to his face mask. You know, the fact that the Titans have coming out and started throwing the ball, you see the Dallas Cowboy defense is now trying to figure out, well, we had this plan, and the plan's not working.
It's Chris Johnson. Oh, how does he find the room? Steps by another Cowboy. Takes off to the 14. What a run. Chris Johnson breaking away from the likes of Allen Ball, DeMarcus Ware, and others.
Yeah, between Vince Young, the fact that he can run, and then when you got this running back there, this just dictates to defenses what they got to do against the Tennessee Titans. It makes it easy. You're very limited to what you can try because of those plays, because the quarterback can run, and also now because the wide receivers, they have it all. Big, fast, aggressive.
29 yards. Johnson again. Trying to bounce outside. He gets there. Got the edge. It was going to be a loss. Picks up only a yard or two before Alan Ball bounces him out. But, you know, you take this run, especially the one before it, too. Like Gale Sayers would do this type of thing, weaving all over the field.
Yeah, they're a little different, though. Just Chris Johnson does it just so easy with so little effort. And the fact, once it's not there, and we kind of talked about it earlier, Jim, he can get the full speed from a dead stop better than anybody else. That's how he gets those extraordinary runs.
Gets a breather. Ringer's in for him. 2nd and 8. To the end zone, and a touchdown for Tennessee. It's Kenny Britt. Vince Young's 2nd touchdown toss. 12 yards. Young to Britt. Britt has a touchdown in a 3rd consecutive game.
Here it comes. Blitz up the middle. Again, the protection is really good. And you know it's one-on-one coverage. No safety to worry about in the middle of the field. And look at the position Kenny Britt had the whole time against Orlando Scandrick. So there is no way the defense can make a play when you have position like that.
So Britt, touchdown in each of the last 3 games. He added up, it's 3 touchdown catches in his last 6 receptions. Titans offense is clicking. Vince Young coming back to Texas, throwing 2 touchdown passes here in the early going. Kenny Britt takes it the final 12 on the throw from Vince Young. And you're not convinced that Kenny Britt was actually his target?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the target. I'm real sure. But it doesn't matter. It's a touchdown. I did that before in the game. I never gave it up. No, good, the guy caught it.
Didn't admit it after the game?
Absolutely not.
Aquazi to the 29. Here's what you're talking about on the touchdown.
When I saw it live, I thought he was throwing to Nate Washington crossing the field. Watch Vince Young's eyes. Nate Washington is coming from the right side of the screen. He looks at him the whole time. He throws it, goes over the top. Oh, he's looking at him, no question. He's looking at Nate Washington, as you see it above, too. Oh, was that Bo Scaife going across?
I think it was Bo Scaife. Ends up in the hands of Kenny Britt. Cowboys down 14. 2.5 into the 2nd quarter. And Romo is decked again. That's Jason Babin.
Well, you talk about you talk about receiving cores and offenses that have, you don't know which guy to cover because they're all good. But what do you do against the Tennessee Titans defensive line? And I asked Jason Garrett this question. He goes, look, we can't focus on one guy. Everybody just has to block their man to man. And the free offensive lineman, which there's a lot of time, there's one that's not blocking anybody, help out wherever you think it's needed. And good luck.
Romo had been sacked once in the first 3 games. Already now 3 times in this one. Gets up a little wide receiver screen. It's going to take up a big chunk of yardage with Miles Austin.
Boy.
Doug Free helps bring him 16 games.
Miles Austin, is he fast? Is he powerful? He's everything. My new saying, he's all in one. There's nothing he can't do.
He's great after the catch, too.
That's what it is, Jim. A guy that catches the football with his hands and has a running back's body. What a combination when you put him in space.
Austin has 60 of Dallas's 83 yards, and Felix Jones up the middle for about 4. Friday on CBS, the murder of an off-duty police officer hits close to home on an all-new episode of the new hit drama Blue Bloods. Tom Selleck stars Friday only CBS.
Yeah, tell us a quick story about Blue Bloods.
I saw Tom recently in New York, and I went up and congratulated him on his new show.
Series.
Yeah, I'm promoting the Defenders as hard as I can, Tom. I walked away and I was told that is blue bloods, by the way, not the defenders.
And to him, he never corrected it.
No,
Nice of him. He lets you get away with it.
Gentlemen, here's Bennett. And the Cowboys take it to the Tennessee side of the field. These little short passes picking up good yardage. That one good for 8.
Well, I know it's short passes, but you got to do it against the Tennessee Titans. Martellus Bennett to the left of your screen. And what you do, since these guys we're talking about, the pass rush, it's so good. Well, how do you stop it? Quick screens to inside receivers, outside to Miles Austin. Jason Garrett, he knows what you have to do to get it to move the ball against these type of defensive fronts. Draws and screens, always good against just all-out pass rushing team.
Seal the pocket for Romo this time. He's got running room. Gets past Griffin actually able to knock him down, but it's good for 9. Felix Jones did a good job picking up the blitz.
Yeah, nice job. He does it. Watch the defensive front. It just gets collapsed inside. Wow, what a block by Felix Jones.
Twice.
You are right. Got a second shot, and Tony Romo knows he's going to run all the way. Keeps giving those pump fakes, trying to get Michael Griffin to maybe move out of the way. He was having none of that.
2nd and a yard. U.S. Jones after the 2 big blocks picks up the first down. Picks up a total of about 4. Cowboys reporting that Brady James, their linebacker, is in the locker room with a knee injury, questionable to return today.
That's a big, I think that hurts the Dallas Cowboys. Brady James is one of the players that going into this week, as you watch the Cowboys playing, you go, wow, this guy is everywhere. High energy, makes plays, helps call the defense along with Keith Brooking. Could be a factor.
First down. Oh, they got him for a 4th time. Jason Jones, his 2nd sack of the day, plus William Hayes. This one a 9-yard setback.
I guess if I had to pick one guy from the inside, Jason Jones, he's the one that you gotta look at, because he is tough to block inside. Coverage is down the field, didn't matter. Tony Romo had no time to see. You could be wide open. Good for you. Raise your hand. Quarterback's on the ground. But inside, they might have to start paying attention to number 91. That's 3 times he's gone through and caused Tony Romo to get the sack to make him move.
Come back recovered with a 36 running behind Kyle Kozar, and a flag in on the back end of it.
Oh boy, we're gonna I think it's going to be a personal foul just by the body language against the Cowboys. And you know, the Tennessee Titans just love this. And after last week, what we heard,
you get people calling them dirty team, cheap shot artists. They have been penalized, the Titans, at least 8 times in each of the first 4 games. But in that game against Denver, the Broncos won it and still came out of the game talking about how unhappy they were with the way they felt the Titans had a few hits in there that weren't legal.
And Jeff Fisher's comment was, oh, you mean if we hit their quarterback a lot, sacked him 6 times, they couldn't run it? If that's being dirty, then I guess that's us.
This is Jeff Triplett, the referee for today's game.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 75 in the offense. 15-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
That's a personal foul on Mark Colombo of the Cowboys.
And you know, too, the Titans, they love this style of play. They like it aggressive. They want to play to the whistle, and it is rough because it's Jeff Fisher. He's been at Tennessee I don't know how many years now, but that's his team has been like this every year. You got to know that going in. Don't get into little pushing matches with them and talking. Just play.
16 full years for Fisher. Started his head coaching career with this franchise when he was located down in Houston. And now 2nd down, Romo steps up, lost it, Austin, what a tough catch.
Well, there's a couple things. One, I thought Michael Griffin should intercept it. It was a blatant hold by the Cowboys offensive line.
And there is a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I didn't see the holding penalty get called.
Romo was close to the line of scrimmage, maybe?
Nope. Offsides.
2 fouls on the play. Offside. Defense. Defensive end. Holding. 68. The offense. Those penalties offset. Repeat. Second down.
'68, Doug Free, left tackle. Watch him. Here it comes. Oh, nice. And it's a good hold because Tony Romo, you know, anytime it's your guy gets free and he's going to hit the quarterback for an offensive lineman, that's when you can grab him and hold him. Save him, stop the hit, fumble, whatever else can happen.
This is since the start of the 2008 season. Cowboys right up there with the Raiders. Tennessee on that list as well. So the week laid it down, takes away a good effort by Miles Austin, and Romo again, no time to throw. Babin in on him this time.
Well, what was the word? They're all Tasmanian devils. They just go. They're not worried about the running game. Oh, Colombo gets going backwards. Tony Romo steps up. They can all redirect. What a spin move that time by Babin.
Starting to remind me of that Giants first half sack performance against the Bears last Sunday night, where they had 9 in the first half. They got 5 already, the Titans here. 3rd and 34.
Run a draw.
Looked at first like he wasn't quite ready for it. Picks up about 3. Vincent Fuller.
Yeah, Romo went down again. But, you know, Jim, I just real quick did a little booing here, going back to all the comments about the Titans and everything in all my years. And we had this discussion with quite a few players, ex-players. I never can remember coming out of a game going, oh, they were too rough. They played dirty. And, you know, just I think even the Titans said all the teams they play hard.
Mariani not able to come close to fielding this one. The Friars punt down at the 15. They're a rough bunch. They'll go ahead and knock you around a little bit here.
No, it's a physical game.
That's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, it is. It's okay.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Travelers. Insurance for auto, home, and business. DirecTV. Watch your favorite team wherever you live. Only on DirecTV. Call to switch today. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way.
Jim Nantz, Phil Simms here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and a 17-3 Tennessee lead. Is this surprising you at all, the way this game has started?
Sure. We knew kind of the thought process for the Tennessee Titans and the Dallas Cowboys, and I figured it'd be, back and forth, very physical. But the fact that Tennessee has had the success throwing the football, I think I'm a little surprised at how easy they've done that. And the Dallas Cowboys knew about the pass rush, talked about it all week, and still not able to handle it so far in this game.
A handoff. That was Ringer for a short gain. They come out of this series now. They come out without Chris Johnson on the first down play, but Vince Young's marched him down the field twice with a couple of touchdown throws.
It's hot in here with the roof closed. It's hot for a lot of people. Tony Romo sweating, going, wow, I thought we would block him.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, to keep going over it, Tony Romo's used to getting away from those pass rushers. But like I said, the Titans can redirect so quickly that it's causing the Cowboys, of course, the understatement, a lot of trouble.
2nd down and 9. Cowboys had a play on this one, but instead it goes for a first down. That was Keith Brooking, who had an initial shot at Ringer.
Well, Javon Ringer came in last week, his first carry. He broke a long run. He's big, strong. His feet are always planted on the ground, kind of runs flat-footed. And when you run with that style, it makes you really anchor in there. So arm tackles do not bring him down.
Javon Ringer ripped off a 54-yard run last week on his first carry, which on its own was more than Chris Johnson rushed for the game. There's Ringer again. Tonight on 60 Minutes, you have money in the stock market. You can't afford to miss tonight's story about Wall Street's new bet, plus a rare interview with Eminem. That's tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS. And we saw Jerry Jones at practice this week, and Scott Pelley's working on a story about Mr. Jones you'll be seeing soon on 60 Minutes. Second down. And Ringer getting the reps on this one. Runs into Marcus Spears for a loss of a yard.
Well, for the Cowboys to get back in this game, I think, if they want to slow this Titans offense down, it's got to be the pass rush. You can't expect the defensive backs to cover more than that first little move or the initial burst by the wide receiver. And so far, Vince Young has been pass protected. His pass protection has been very good.
Approaching 3 minutes to go in the half.
Two people in the backfield. They're expecting blitz, but it's not.
A half that's been dominated by the visitors. Work in the middle and incomplete. In traffic, trying to get it to Damian Williams. Scandrick, one of those. Oh, the sense of ball on the hit.
Couple things. Good rush makes Vince Young stand in the pocket, but still has enough time. But boy, he throws it into the one spot of the defense that was the most dangerous. Cowboys a little shell-shocked, not reacting to the football very well at all.
They're going to get the football back here inside of 3 minutes with 3 timeouts. Des Bryant is back waiting to punt. But Brett Kern. Bryant's already returned 1 this year for a touchdown, and he is brought down immediately. That Tennessee defense, the story so far. Let's see what the Cowboys can do before halftime. Let's see if Romo gets any time to throw.
I noticed one thing. When Tony Romo steps up in the pocket, you always hear that the quarterback, well, step up in the pocket. I don't know if it's any good against this defensive front, because all 4 of them are spinning and moving and coming off their blocks.
First down. Miles Austin out to the 33. It was week 5 last year when Miles Austin got his first career start. Roy Williams was injured. Austin came in, game at Kansas City, put up 246. And you go week 5 last year through week 4 this year, essentially 1 season. And he's on top of a couple of NFL marks in receiving categories. That's a nice grab by Sam Hurd. But it doesn't go for much.
Yeah, you know, talking about Miles Austin, that 1 year, Jim, he's everything. The Cowboys thought he could turn into a big-time #1 receiver in the NFL. One of the reasons why they got rid of Terrell Owens, and they were right.
2-minute warning. 2-touchdown deficit for Dallas at the moment. Coming up, we got the Sprint halftime report. Greg Gumbel and Dan Shannon Boomer, Coach Cowher, all the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report. We wishing JB all the best. He's a little under the weather this week. A great teammate. We're thinking of you, JB. See you back in the next week. First down. There's Roy Williams. He's got a catch now. Picks up 17.
4 new defensive linemen come in for the Tennessee Titans. If you can block them up front, you can throw it. We've seen that this year.
And this is going to be 5 against the Cowboys.
Both start. 65 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
We saw the teams, Jim. The Denver Broncos last week. Kyle Orton under a lot of pressure still had a tremendous game throwing the football. Eli Manning went up and down the field, but then they turned it over once they got near the goal line to score. And today, there's been some big open spaces Tony Romo's throwing to these receivers. But with the Titans, it's always about time.
Takes the draw, goes to Bryant. Looking for any kind of opening, and the rookie steps out at the 42. Des Bryant.
Probably the best thing he did is getting out of bounds, but otherwise, when you sit out there and your feet are on fire and he screens against the defense that's aggressive, the troops are going to rally. You're not going to be able to make that move to get down the field. On the outside, look at the coverage way off. Excellent block by Miles Austin. Des Bryant should have cut back inside.
Romo's hit his last 7 passes. Got a 2nd and 7. Minute 30 to go in the first half.
Yeah, 3 timeouts. Time is not a problem.
Nope, not a bit. That's why you say he could have cut back inside. Uh-oh, look out. Off the fingertips of Miles Austin, and a pick. Romo was decked. He's back on his feet. Vincent Fuller scoops it up. This may be reviewed. Let's check it out going to the break. Oh, we'll be taking another look at that, no doubt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. And by Fidelity Investments. Turn here.
Inside of 2 minutes, and the review comes from upstairs. Triplets under the hood, and here's what he's looking at.
Arms are not underneath the football. The nose hits the ground.
It's going to be an incompletion.
Yeah, I think it will be. I did see it even live that it might have went through his arms.
Wade Phillips and Jeff Fisher, boy, they have a history together. In fact, Fisher's first job in coaching in the NFL, he was on Wade's staff when Wade was the defensive coordinator for Buddy Ryan's Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh yeah, I remember
he was
that
the D coordinator. Fisher came over as the secondary coach. They had some stuff they had to work out there too at the time, didn't they?
Yeah, wasn't that interesting? Of course, I remember that staff very well. Wade Phillips went up because he wanted to learn the 46 defense from Buddy Ryan, and he says him and Jeff Fisher, you know, straightened it out, put names to it, because Buddy Ryan was doing it all off memory, going, yeah, we call this blitz cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Why is that, buddy? Well, that guy that blitzes likes cheeseburgers, you know, so that's how they did it. And really, you understand why both these coaches like to get after the quarterback.
Kind of had to officially put in the system. So Triplett with the call.
After reviewing the play, the ball hits the ground before the interceptor controls the ball. It'll be 3rd down. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down. The ball on the 42-yard line.
Romo's 2000th career pass goes as an incompletion. It'll be a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, good job by Tony Romo. It was an all-out blitz. The safety, Michael Griffin, came right up the middle. Romo gets rid of it, took another big hit. A little surprising, so good call by Chuck Cecil. I always say it, blitzing's about timing. Doing it when the offense doesn't expect it. And show it right at the snap of the ball.
Here they come, another blitz. Romo unloads, and Bryant has it. Slicing for the first at the 33. Good for 9.
That was some throw and catch.
And Bryant walking off Gimpy after picking up the first down. Bryant trying to walk off an ankle injury, a Cowboy timeout we're coming out of.
Watch his right ankle. Here it comes. Oh, yes, that quick. And he is definitely in a lot of pain. Trying to walk it off on the sideline.
It's the same ankle that he injured in training camp in late July.
Yep, he was running an in cut from the left side during training camp when he hurt it. And you see it so often now with everybody when you have the football. When you get tackled, the bodies of the defenders fall low on your legs.
Sam Hurd comes in for Bryant. Got a first down at the 33. Montre Holland now comes in at right guard for the Cowboys. Open is Williams. Got the catch inside the 10. Roy Williams. Romo right on target for 27.
Yeah, it's a beautiful throw, and Roy Williams, that's an excellent job, too. Oh, did he stay in bounds? Because if he stepped out, that is an illegal catch. He was forced out of bounds legally. So if he's forced out of bounds legally, he cannot be the first guy to come in. Jeff Fisher's going to call a timeout to make sure they look at it.
Timeout called by the Titans.
Timeout. Tennessee. They're first.
Cowboys marching down the field,
timeout.
not just with Austin, but also Roy Williams. He got pushed right there. Not sure he ever did go out. Maybe right there.
Well, if he didn't go out, it was great tight-roping.
This drive, Hurd with a catch, Williams with a couple, Bryant with one.
And I'll tell you, it's a tremendous throw. Good job by Roy Williams catching it, securing it, taking the hit. It's nice to have big, tall receivers when you're trying to throw it between the corner and the safety. And there's no doubt that's why Jeff Fisher called it timeout. Let's look at from over the bottom of your screen. Those two were in. Oh, I think he might have been in all.
Doesn't look like he ever stepped out.
No.
And no one signaling down from the booth up top. So the Cowboys have first and goal to go. 1:11 to go in the half. Hold on a minute.
We're reviewing the previous play.
Just in time. Maybe that last replay gave the guys upstairs something to think about.
Well, I think they're mad at us, like, you know, and of course we've looked at it many times, trying to find and decide if you can see anything that nothing definitive that time. But again, just a good timeout by Jeff Fisher, knowing the rules from up top in.
That one's close at the 21. That's the closest step of all.
There's like 4 steps, Jim, where he's in by about a half an inch.
Roy Williams coming alive on this drive, and he had the huge game against Houston. Young man you knew back in his college days at the University of Texas. Of course, started his career up with Detroit, traded here in 08. It's taken a long time for him really to become a big part of things with the Cowboys offense, but showing some signs here the last couple of weeks.
Well, let's look at it one more time. He's in. That one looks like it. Good. I'll tell you, as you go through all the steps, when you watch Roy Williams go down the sideline, when you're watching it, Jim, I think every time you can see a little green. It's a long shot far away, but you can still see green between his foot.
It's just not conclusive. It's too hard to call. I still think the one at the 21, that step might be the closest one.
Here's the one
right there.
I think you can.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you can say anything conclusively.
Yeah, that's right.
That's at the 19 there. Chris Hope was the one who knocked him out of bounds at the 6. I think Triplett's seen enough. He's going to come out with the verdict.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Cowboys have first and goal to go at the 6. Of course, right now you score too quickly, you're going to get Tennessee plenty of time to do something before the half as well.
I don't think you worry about that. If they get a chance to manage the clock, you do. But if the opportunity's there,
might be a good time to play a run play anyway. They're going to go up top. Williams, and it's a touchdown. Dallas. Cortland Finnegan was trying to defend.
Jim, you talked about Roy Williams, and he's now fitted into this offense, and it's just sometimes it takes a player a while for two things. One, for the team to learn his talents, and then I think also with Roy Williams just applying himself to find a role in the offense, and he's done that.
Backs up his 2-touchdown game. Last time out with another one here. He had 3 catches on that drive for 50 yards and a touchdown. There's that great mayor of Fort Worth, Mayor Moncrief, and the First Lady Rosie cheering him on.
Well, as you look at the touchdown, really good throw by Tony Romo. Throws it pretty quick, gets it out of his hands, throws it before Cortland Finnegan can turn around, and as they always say, you can't teach size, and Roy Williams is one big receiver. Just goes up over the top, gets both arms around it.
Boy, it was a hard-earned 6, wasn't it? You had the overturn, the proper call on the Fuller interception. Jerry Jones breaks into a smile, probably the first time today.
Well, he sees hope. We saw Jerry Jones Friday at practice, and he came up and goes, "I'm just so nervous this week." And I just went, come on, let's be honest. 1 week on Fridays, that's when you start getting nervous about the game in the NFL. Fridays, you go, all right, it's coming, it's here.
Saw that young boy, Roy Williams, gave him the ball. Romo 10 of 11 in this quarter and has now thrown a touchdown in 16 consecutive games. Mariani is the return man. They have 2 timeouts, the Titans, in over a minute. Oh, the Cowboys pick it up a notch here and late in the first half. Tomorrow on CBS is Trouble in Paradise as the 5-0 team tracks an escaped convict. Catch TV's #1 news show, Hawaii 5-0, tomorrow only. CBS.
Did you diss any of the stars on Hawaii 5-0? No, you didn't. Okay.
Because I haven't run into them.
Oh, is that it? Titans got to be careful here. You throw a pass and it's incomplete, then you put the clock back into the hands of the Dallas Cowboys because they still have 2 timeouts.
Brady James is back. Remember, he had been shaken up with a knee earlier in this half. So the Cowboy linebacker returns to the field. That's Scaife with the catch for 8. Titans starting off here, the opening leg of a 6-week stretch in which they play only 1 game at home. They have a bye in that 6 weeks, but they'll see a game on their home turf only once the next month and a half. They go draw. It's Johnson. First down, 31. Another 8 for Johnson, is now up to 65 yards rushing on the game. We've already seen Baronis make one from 52. Young gets a block out there. That's Ringer throwing a block on Jason Williams. And Vince Young and the Titans pick up another chunk of 8. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. Greg and Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher have all the scores and highlights here. Week 5 of the NFL. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Again, obvious passes, passing situations. Excellent protection for Vince Young. This Tennessee offensive line, DeMarcus Ware, Spencer on the other side.
One for the long ball. And it's Jenkins with the pick. Oh, he dropped it. I'll tell you what, though, Kenny Britt was wide open, too. Young just heaved it. Not that he was heaving it at his own man. He just threw it as far as he could. Mike Jenkins flagged for those 2 interference calls on the opening drive of the game that led eventually to a Titan touchdown.
Well, I think as you look at that play, you said it, there was an angle there. If Vince Young would have looked a little longer, throw it on the line underneath, because Kenny Britt had great position. And you're the Cowboys in this situation. How does somebody get so deep one-on-one?
They go draw again. And that picks up a first. 12 seconds. And a timeout, Titans.
It's a good timeout by the Titans. What you're hoping to do here is to get one more play, and to, if you get the opportunity, you call a timeout, and then you get one shot at the end zone. Or, you know, Jim, you talk about their place kicker. My gosh, you get around midfield, you could try one from about 65, 66 yards.
Well, he's made a 60-yarder. Remember, he had that game about 240 miles south of here in Houston a couple of years ago, when he made 8 in the game, an NFL record in the game. The 8th field goal ball is in the Hall of Fame. His career long is 60. And after dropping the ball, Jenkins,
like a practice,
dropped to the ground. Going for the big ball. And a little contact, maybe a little acting. Nate Washington and Newman will tangle with 5 seconds. You were looking for something probably in the middle of that.
Yeah, you know what? We all were, but maybe that's why this is a good play. That's where the Cowboys. Nope, Cowboys. Terrence Newman having another good year and a good day so far.
Oh, they're just going to be content here to take a knee, go to the locker room up 7. 17-10 Titans at halftime. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. And you're watching the NFL on CBS. Tennessee Titans winning down here in Texas. 17-10 at halftime. Honorary captains of the day is Troy Aikman's mom, breast cancer survivor, and Nancy Brinker, founder and CEO of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure. Over 100 women breast cancer survivors taking the field here before the game. Is the message sent out loud and clear by the league this month. Second half coming up in just a moment on CBS. Let's go on to the second half. Dallas will be receiving the second half kick. Tennessee leads at 17-10. Let's take a look at the points of protection presented by Allstate. Romo sacked 5 times in the first half. No turnovers in the game. And Tennessee usually high on the penalty count. Dallas has 5 for the Titans 2 so far today. What are you looking for here in the second half, Phil?
Well, I think in the second half, you look at for the Dallas Cowboys, can they continue to protect Tony Romo? We said it. You give him time, you can make plays down the field. And for the Tennessee Titans, keep the pressure on. I thought especially that one time in the second quarter when I thought they could come out and keep throwing it and keep the Cowboys defense confidence down. They didn't do it. Can they regain it?
Suanse is back deep for the Cowboys. Akwasi is how they know him around Dallas, and here he is. Ran back 5 punts and kicks in college for touchdowns. Now, again, Dallas will see it first. Finally, it looked like they were getting on track offensively there at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they got some answers. And the Tennessee Titans talked about it many times. The Cowboys have a lot of guys who can make plays. We've seen Felix Jones in here a little bit. I think it'll be interesting to see, too, Des Bryant. Can he make it back? And if he's not out there, I think that changes how you play the Cowboys. I think you can go ahead and take chances, because now you're really only looking at 2 guys that you have to worry about covering.
They go with both Barber and Jones in the backfield. Toss it to Jones, trying to get outside, free. He was trying to hold down that left side and seal off a couple of the Titans. Here's the first half summary. Young threw one that Washington came down with, and then another one to Britt for a touchdown. Romo got the late one to Williams, but sacked 5 times in that first half. That equals a career high, in fact, the number of times Romo's been sacked in a game. And it happened here in a half. And the way Des Bryant is on the sideline with his helmet on. With a short toss, goes to Austin to the 31. Des Bryant, so he's ready to go, it looks like. Billy's coming out right now.
I got to tell you, I'm surprised. See a little bit of a limp. Because it looked like when he got that ankle turned in the first half, just watching his body language, the pain, and the fact that he really couldn't walk it off.
He's at the bottom of the screen, 3rd and 4. Finnegan defending on Bryant. Romo goes left side. Oh, catch, and Austin's got some room. Austin taken off inside the 20. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys. 69 yards. Mouton and Griffin collided. And Miles Austin able to take it all the way. I don't know how many times we've seen it, how he breaks free after the catch. Able to shake off the hits. He does it again.
The catch does it all. And Michael Griffin,
I'm not sure they ever touched him, Phil.
Went to catch the football instead of going in front of the receiver. So a couple times today, Michael Griffin, I think, has had a chance to make the play, but hasn't done it.
Back from 14 down. And the extra point by Beaver ties it at 17. Longest play of Miles Austin's career, longest reception, that is. The Titans run into one another. And Austin runs free to the end zone. 2 touchdowns by the Cowboys in 2 minutes and 32 seconds on the clock, going back to the end of the first half. Tennessee had not given up a touchdown pass of 50 yards or more since a year ago, September. 719 throws ago. And they'll be starting this drive at the 20 with the game tied.
Well, Jim, let me show you the touchdown. The Tennessee Titans, 2 safeties in the middle. Tony Romo sees Miles Austin. He thinks, oh, I got what I want. It's a great disguise. It's double coverage to the top. He goes, they bait him. He takes the bait. He throws it out there. And Miles Austin, it's just a great play. It turns into a touchdown. In reality, when the coaches watch it, they'll go, guys, we got to intercept that pass.
Can't tackle each other. Never laid a hand on Austin. He was untouched. Play action coming out. Young sets up screen and at the ankles of Scaife, the same way they started the game. Same play, same result. There it is, 719 passes ago since September 09, the last time the Titans were beat deep for a touchdown.
Well, we heard it so much from the players and the coaches of the Titans. They were worried about the skill level of the quarterback and the receivers. We're seeing that worry.
That's a dangerous pass to Kenny Britt for 4 yards. A 3rd and 6 coming up for Young and the Titans.
And of course, Jim, it all plays into it. You know, we talk about it. Why did the Titans come out? Of course, they thought to move the football, they need to throw it. They want to give Chris Johnson more space. But I think they also knew that, wow, no matter how well we play on defense, the Dallas Cowboys are going to score some points.
They made up some ground in a hurry, didn't they? 3rd and 6. Young's in trouble. Escapes. Fires incomplete. Looking for Nate Washington. Jay Ratliff was in the face of the quarterback.
That might be. First off, Washington is open. You play quarterback. Excellent job of getting out of trouble by Vince Young. Could he have got the first down if he ran?
Had a good chance, you'd think.
I think it'd have been close. DeMarcus Ware loops around and just gets completely blocked talented play once again by the Titans offensive line.
Des Bryant is the deep man.
Space.
Had a chance to return this one. But a good special teams tackle. Burner for the second time gets Des Bryant on the punt coverage. 43-yard punt. Cowboys have the ball. Game tied, third quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty. And by New York Life Insurance Company.
MetLife Blimp providing aerial coverage in Cowboy Stadium, and you were marveling about this.
Well, you need a blimp to cover it. It's big.
You know, we're talking about the 10 theme here. Super Bowl 10. The Dallas Cowboys and Tom Landry and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the acrobatic efforts of Lynn Swann. Mark Washington covering and is all over him. Wow. Well defended, but Swanee got 3. It was a wild one. Super Bowl 10. Pittsburgh won it. Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire called it. Brent hosted the pregame show with essays by Jack Whitaker. I actually have the copy of that broadcast. That was one of the great ones. That game, Steelers and the Cowboys tangled a few times down there, didn't they? The old Orange Bowl, 1st and 10 here. Game tied at 17. And Roy Williams. Gain of 6.
Cowboys, the first big play, but they made a few adjustments at halftime. It'll be interesting to see what do they do. Here we go. Look at the double blockers on the defensive end, sliding the line the other way, trying to give Tony Romo just a little more time to throw it. Because even the Cowboy coaches know, hey, give him time. He makes it happen.
He's hit 13 of his last 14. Romo has him. Felix Jones breaks out the tackle. Burner trying to chase after him, and Hope has the angle. Jones has the big gallop. And the Cowboys are set up deep in Tennessee territory after a 34-yard run.
The defense of the Titans just crashes in too fast and hard. Werner knocks the guys off, allows Felix Jones to get outside.
Got an injury timeout. William Hayes of the Titans. We'll be right back. William Hayes hitting the side of the head, illustrating it to his training staff right now. He's able to walk off.
2 defensive linemen down, not in this game for the Titans. Marks and Morgan both hurt.
Morgan out for the season, IR with an ACL. 1st and 10. That's Felix Jones fumbles it for a moment, spins for about 4. But before this play, a 34-yard gain, the Cowboys had a span of 3 plays. In 2 of those 3 plays, they ripped off the largest and longest pass and longest run of the season for them.
Well, Felix Jones, that was a screen play to him that time, trying to block it. Just another way. Basically what it was a running play, a sweep to the left. He's fast, and it just gives the Cowboys another option. Something else you have to defend. And you always want, of course, run simple plays to get great results.
Marion Barber squeezes through a tiny hole. Then we'll have 3rd and about 3 for the Dallas Cowboys. Romo, he was harassed early by this Titan defense that sacked him 5 times just a couple of minutes into the second quarter. But then things turned around late.
Well, a couple things. A couple great plays by Tony Romo, and then just terrific plays by the wide receivers. And that one by Miles Austin, that'll be one of the better plays we'll see all weekend in the NFL.
No sacks the last 13 attempts after 5 early ones. Romo rolling out on 3rd down. He's in trouble again. Now they've got another sack, number 6. Dave Ball and Tony Brown may share this one.
We saw the back staying in, helping block for Tony Romo this time. Hey, just another way to do it. Move the pocket, but look at the coverage down the field. Everybody double teamed. Nowhere to go. And how about that speed? Oh my gosh. You got to get more than just a little push on them.
That's sacked now for a career high 6th time in Romo's career. This will be a 44-yard attempt by Beeler for the lead. Good from 51 in the first quarter. And Beeler's kick trying to hook back, but not enough. No good. Titans will take over at the 34. They started to move, stopped turning over. Wide right by a foot.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new action comedy Red, in theaters Friday. And by AT&T. Rethink possible.
17-17 with 9:53 to go in the third quarter. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, happy to bring you the call here from Cowboys Stadium. Vince Young and the Titans, they had an early 14-point lead. Here's Johnson. That middle plug by Jay Ratliff holds him to only 3. Support the NFL's A Crucial Catch breast cancer awareness campaign by bidding on authentic game day NFL pink products and experiences at NFL.com/auction. Proceeds benefit the American Cancer Society. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 here for Tennessee. And again, Young in the pocket, throws incomplete. Going for Scaife. Keith Brooking was right there with him.
Well, it's a blitz by the Cowboys, and the blitz pickup is awesome. Watch Chris Johnson. Boy, right in Brady James, just stops him cold. Keith Brooking, good job. It looked like the football hit Bo Scaife on the chest, but well, Brooking got his hand in there.
Yes, he did. He got a hand on it. Took it off track. Young's hit only 1 of his last 6 throws. He's got a 3rd and 7 here. The Scaife, Cowboys there to defend it, and they'll force the punt. Danny McRae, the rookie from LSU, makes the tackle. Anthony Spencer was the one who forced Young out of the pocket.
Yeah, just good pressure this time, pushing the pocket. Bowen makes Vince Young move. How about the hustle by Jay Ratliff coming from rushing the passer to get in on the tackle.
Bryant's had 2 attempts to run back a punt today. Nothing there because Varner of the Titans, number 20, has been downfield in a hurry. Here's the Kern kick. Bryant picks off a hit, and then 2 Titans bring him down with a flag thrown into the pile. Donnie Nicky down there, along with Tim Shaw.
During the return, illegal blocking the back. 42, the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So the Cowboys will start this next drive near the 10. The game tied at 17, third quarter. Well, you see the yardage total, 69 of it in this quarter for the Cowboys, coming on the touchdown throw. Romo to Austin. From the 10, it's Felix Jones. And Jones pinned down after a 6-yard gain. The first rounder taken in the same draft, the same round as Chris Johnson of the Tennessee Titans. You sense that this may factor in more of Felix Jones being played today, the psychology of it all.
Well, I'm just listening to the Tennessee Titans talk about it. They go, well, you know, this has to bother the Cowboys that we got the star of that draft at the running back position, and teams don't like to be wrong. So reading the paper, putting 2 and 2 together, the Tennessee Titans have warned their players, look, you're going to see a lot of Felix Jones, screens, run the football. I'll tell you what, they were right.
Felix Jones actually taken ahead of Chris Johnson in that first round. There were some backs taken there as Romo has to take a timeout. Here's what we're talking about in that draft. 3 years back, 2008 draft, McFadden, 4th overall. Finally playing well this year and injury-free until this week. Out with a hamstring, Jonathan Stewart. And there's Jones, who was taken with the 22nd pick. Mendenhall next. And then Chris Johnson, 24. Those 3 in a row right there.
It's picking the guy that fits your team. And the Cowboys took Felix Jones because they thought returns, and give them speed at the running back position, I think we know that Mendenhall at Pittsburgh, that's working out wonderfully.
I know
Chris Johnson really fits the Tennessee Titans.
I know one first-rounder that worked out for the New York Football Giants back in 1979. Quarterback out of Morehead State.
Wow.
He got honored last Sunday. We're going to show you that in a minute. To the Giants' Ring of Honor. I wonder who that could be. Cowboys face 2nd and 4.
Well, if you're guessing why Tittle, you're wrong.
Finnegan almost had the pick.
He was in front the whole way.
Bryant able to strip him of the pick.
But Tony Romo read the coverage and turned to throw it and couldn't stop. Look at Cortland Finnegan. That's an excellent job by Des Bryant. Just going up with him and knocking it down.
What do you think of Bryant? Does he look like he's 100%?
No, he does not look 100%, but if you're playing against him, you better treat him like it is.
Hit his ankle late in the first half. And there's a first down catch to Miles Austin. That one had to be.
They cheer me now because I'm not there, so that's good. Keep it that way. But Frank Gifford, Y.A. Tittle, so many great past Giants. Yeah.
First down carry. Felix Jones for 3. Bill Parcells, your coach.
Yeah, he was there, and it's. I'm going to. He hates it when I say it, but I had a chance to talk to him this week, and he was really proud of it, of course. But we're all together. That's what he says. You know, I like that our names are all up there. Lawrence, you, me, the whole group that he coached. They put us together. And I said, well, that's a great way to think of it. I hadn't noticed it or thought of it that way, but it is pretty cool.
2nd down and 7. I thought it was pretty cool. You worked the game that day in Pittsburgh and still got back that night. And got there in time to do your thing at halftime.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out that way.
Barber for a couple.
And the Cowboys, I think always, and we talked about it a little bit, Tony Romo, his draw fakes are just so good and unique that they do freeze the defense. Pass rushers, linebackers, and just a little hesitation allows a runner to get up speed and beat them to the punch. But it has not worked here today against this Titans defense.
Romo has hit 15 of his last 17 passes. Need to get to the 37 for the first. Can he hit another one? He does. It's Witten, who's had a quiet day so far. But Witten with the first down catch. Good for 8 yards.
Well, they're basically what they're doing. It's just man-to-man coverage. It's Tony Romo can see it when they line up. And McGrath that time. Hard to overplay Jason Witten. And Witten knows it. His size uses it. Just turns out another good throw by Tony Romo. And Jim, you said earlier, the last 3rd down throw to Miles Austin was terrific.
2nd catch of the day for Witten. Quick cross to Bird. And Burner brings him down after a gain of 6.
Well, the offensive line here, especially in the second half, is kind of getting the hang of it. The protection's better. Leonard Davis coming across. Nice block. Seal gets Felix Jones open. Look at the pocket. And when Tony Romo had this is the first half, what a throw down the sidelines to Roy Williams. Good job by Romo again. Looking at the safety, holding him for a second. Give Roy Williams a little more space.
Barber has it first. Marion Barber running hard. Runs into the secondary. Griffin brings him down. Cowboys pick up another first.
You said it. It's hard running. You've had Felix Jones. And now you got to deal with Marion Barber. And he is a totally different style runner. Oh, boy, Michael Griffin, good job of hanging in there and getting the tackle. But the Cowboys thought they could wear this Tennessee defense down.
drive that began back at the 10. And that's Barber for a short gain, a couple of yards. Defensive coordinator for the Titans, reprimanded this week. He's an intense individual, had a good career in the NFL. Chuck Cecil made a gesture last week. The NFL fined him $40,000, and I know that well, the whole thing, according to the Titans, it's over and done with. Chuck's ready for it all to just go away.
Yeah, and it will. Look, he's a good defensive coordinator. His guys play hard for him. Of course, he regrets what he did.
2nd and 8. And Romo rolling out. Gets Witten the ball again. Will Witherspoon trying to run with him, picks up 24.
And he had him. And watch Tony Romo waits. He's going to throw it. And he says, no, let me wait a little longer. And just that little added time allows Jason Witten to pull away from Witherspoon. I don't know what the wave is. He's got all the moves, looking off, and that's why you keep the football to the sideline, so you can use your inside arm to ward off those defenders.
Witten just tied Kellen Winslow for 4th all-time receptions by a tight end. And in the end zone, it's picked. Wow, what a catch, Griffin. Well, he's trying to run out with it. I think he may have had contact and been down. That was intended for Martellus Bennett. Michael Griffin comes out with it as the ball bounced around.
Good job by Michael Griffin. Nice look off.
He's down right there.
He's down. And who jumps? That's Tulloch. That's what really enables the Titans to get the interception. Tulloch jumping makes Tony Romo have to throw it so high it's just out of the reach of Bennett.
That was Bennett, had his hands on it. Griffin focused, got the pick. And now challenge flag coming here because Fisher says, wait a minute, my guys upstairs will tell you we're going to get an additional 5 yards out of this. Chuck Cecil's defense coming up big with a pick and now 6 sacks on the day. And it's going to be from the 15 to the 20. They'll move it. Down here, 5 yards, it's a big thing.
Absolutely.
From the 15 to the 20.
Tennessee is challenging that the interceptor was not down by contact in the end zone.
Can't we just tell Triplett that it's confirmed? You don't even have to walk all the way over to the monitor. Can't we just get Jimmy Hatter, our guy down there, just to say, hey, go ahead, Jeff, give him the 5 yards and let's go. Watch Miles Austin come over and down him.
Yeah, he's down. You know, Jeff Triplett said it wrong. Tennessee is, they're saying he was down by contact in the end zone.
Yeah, they want him to be down.
They want him to be down because they wanted it at the 20. That's why I know it doesn't take much, and as you always say, to confuse me, but I was like, oh, wait.
Didn't mean to do that. I wouldn't do that to you.
You don't see it done this way often because they wait, no, you were wrong. We didn't. Usually coaches challenge the other way, that they were not down.
Jeff Fisher had issued 3 challenges. You see the hook 'em horns coming from Michael Griffin. He played ball down at Austin, University of Texas, was drafted in the 1st round in 2007.
Moscade, Vince Young, Paul the fullback. University of Texas players on his Titans team. On the other side, Roy Williams.
And this was the 2nd time today the Cowboys had a drive that lasted at least 10 plays, and on both occasions they failed to come up with any points.
Yeah, the last drive was what the Cowboys offense wants to be. A little bit, they changed it up, some quick throws, some very good 3rd down conversions, running the football. Then they try for the quick score, which a lot of coaches do. Once they get around the 20-yard line, they like to throw it in the end zone to get that touchdown on 1st down, because they know how difficult it gets once you get inside the 10.
I was going to say, Jeff Fisher had 3 challenges before today, had not won one. He will win this one.
After review, The interceptor is touched down in the end zone by number 19 of Dallas. Therefore, it is a touchback. Tennessee is not charged the timeout. Put 2 minutes, 12 seconds back on the game clock.
So add a second and give them 5 yards. Can the Titans take over at the 20, winning the challenge? Romo in his 49th career start, and his numbers absolutely right on the money career-wise. 2 touchdown passes for every interception thrown, which is a fantastic ratio. And of course today is 2 for 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like his career numbers. Off that pick by Griffin.
What all quarterbacks strive for.
Young will hit a big ball. It's Kenny Britt. Britt makes the catch. He can get up. He was never touched.
No, he was not.
Mike Jenkins just fell asleep. Mike Jenkins was all upset about giving up the long ball, and he forgot to down him.
And I've been thinking, I even said to you during the commercial, first I should say it on air, that I like what Tennessee was doing. These play action fakes and really throwing it deep down the field. Just pressuring the Cowboy secondary defense. And Kenny Britt was not touched.
Well, I tell you, the Cowboys may want to take a look at it. In fact, they've thrown out the challenge flag.
Oh, you thought he got touched?
Well, I think Jenkins, that's the way Jenkins kind of handled it, too. I think he may have just grazed the shoulder pad. And you got to make the call here if you're Wade Phillips. You've got to throw the flag.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was not down by contact.
Otherwise, it's the longest pass play of Vince Young's professional career. He's got him.
He hits him on the way down.
Yeah,
right.
All right. Good for Jenkins. Otherwise, that's one of those plays that you're going to be just absolutely reminded of the rest of the week, and rightfully so. Jenkins beat on the play, but not beat for a touchdown. Jenkins having a really tough go of it out here.
Well, it's a lot of pressure, and I think we said it right from the start of this game that everybody perceives this Tennessee Titans team, oh, they don't do anything in the pass game. Well, they don't try a lot. Now, they do have Chris Johnson back there, and there's a style to their play. They like to run it. They want their defense to do what it does, but the receivers can run. And when you have an offense that can run it, to me, the perfect match is big, fast receivers. No, they're not looking for like great route runners, and because they're not going to have that precise passing game. This is the perfect match. When you play action it, throw it. And you know, too, Jim, we see it every week. You see it in highlights. The wide receivers in the NFL now, every team has at least 2 really good ones.
This one will definitely take the touchdown away. It's going to take a while for Triplett to sort it out, where they were down, what to do with the clock.
Right, and just for the fans, real quick, they're just going to the ground. Since he was going to the ground and he's touched, that should make him down.
And it looks like it's at about the 28, the way I see it here. Watch this.
Well, that was another good example. Your young receiver at home, Kenny Britt, running, looks up, sees the football, and he kept his hands, and he just kept moving them and running, waited to the last second, and reached out and made that catch. You said it was, we were showing the replays too. Cowboys defense in a very aggressive mode again. Both safeties up close, kind of expecting run, trying to run up in there and make a tackle. Opens up things over the top.
After review, the player catches the ball. Number 21 of Dallas touches it along the back, and he's down by contact at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, Tennessee. Dallas is not charged the timeout.
So a 52-yard pass play as it works out.
Well, Jim, let's just show everybody how he got so wide open. Kenny Britt coming down here. Like I said, look at both safeties. in there tight. They're in a position to help with inside runs and inside routes. But it puts Mike Jenkins and Terrence Newman one-on-one against the whole field.
They actually spot the football at the 27 for some reason. Look what it said, the 28 falls out. And it's recovered. Brady James was the one who knocked it away. And Velasco, the first-year starter, first time ever, gets the recovery, the left guard.
Oh, and listen, they had this set up. There's two blockers out there. There's only one guy that can stop it, and that's Brady James. Gets in between them, makes the play.
Chris Johnson for a quick racing 5 yards. Let's get the update. Greg Gumbel in New York.
Jim, Phillip Rivers is having himself a heck of a day at Oakland. This is a 41-yard touchdown pass to Malcolm Floyd. They still have, they're in the final 6 minutes of the third quarter. Rivers has thrown for 352 yards and 2 touchdowns. They lead at 24-15.
Thank you, Greg. So he's headed to 400. Who knows? Could even flip with 500. The way he's going. Coming back after being down 12-zip. Third down here for the Titans. Cowboys come in on Young, and he's almost intercepted. DeMarcus Ware was in there along with Jason Hatcher. There's Hatcher coming in.
Good alignment by the Cowboys defense. Confused Tennessee for the first time all day. Almost led to a turnover.
Rob Baronis, who just last game passed the late George Blanda, second all-time in franchise scoring, Oiler Titan history. 40-yard kick for the lead, and Rob Baronis drills it. 20-17 Tennessee. 19 seconds to go in the third, and we go back to Greg in New York.
Jim and Phil, defending Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints, in trouble at Arizona. Liddell bets the fumble. Kerry Rhodes of Arizona picks it up, goes 27 yards for the touchdown. Arizona leads the Saints by 10, 23-13, under 7.5 to play in the fourth quarter.
Why don't you see that one coming, Phil?
I'll tell you, the Arizona Cardinals, it's like the year they went to the Super Bowl. They can go up and down, but that stadium of theirs, they can rock it, and they're so emotional, and they make plays, I think, because of that. But you think about the Titans, though, Jim. We've said a lot about them today, but Rob Baronis, of course, he would fit on any team, but you want to run the ball, play their style, and have a field goal kicker with his range. It fits in there well.
Was as he joined the team back in 05, he's made more field goals than any player in the National Football League. Rob Baronis, and like I said today, he made his 7th straight from outside of 50.
Unbelievable. He makes it look so easy. We did a game last year. Remember, we just said, let's just listen, and you can hear it. It's like a different sound.
Sounds like a cannon shot.
You're going to be a running football team like the Titans. You're going to get yourself in situations where you're going to get a lot of field goal tries.
Put the foot to this right here. Jeez, played all of that. Hit it on the hosel. And that's Ogletree on the return.
That was,
Next Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings you Ryan Mallett and the Razorbacks against double threat Cameron Newton and the Auburn Tigers. Check local listings, beginning with the TIAA Prep College football today, next Saturday here on CBS. There's an Arkansas man right there.
There he is.
Had his Razorbacks in his building yesterday.
He thought he was nervous on Friday. What do you think he is right now?
Oh, yeah. Down 3. Closing out the third quarter.
He couldn't have heard his kick anyway with the loud music they play.
Felix Jones with that flag.
Eager use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Amon Gordon just signed this week. Flag for that one. Ogletree recovered that kick. The Baronis kick. Watch 85 of the Cowboys.
It's a good shot. That was an accident. That's like a Magic Johnson look-off pass.
That's going to close out the quarter. Not another snap. 2017 Titans going to the fourth, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. But it's a 2017 game now, as Romo's moving in on 300. On the other side, and Romo and the Cowboys have the football at the 47 to start the fourth quarter. Pleasure to share the day with Phil Simms. Jim Nance here in the booth in Arlington, Texas. First down for the Cowboys. Witten is wide open. And Witten takes it to the 21. A gain of 31.
Another job by Tony Romo. Good job. He drops back, he looks left, then throws right. Look at all the defenders just looking at the quarterback. Somebody has to follow him once they go up the seams in the NFL. Somebody's got to turn and run with the inside guy. Nobody did it for the Titans. And that was one big gaping hole in that defense.
Takes it into the red zone. And the Cowboys down 3, trying to drive to take the lead. You sense a shift here at all?
Oh, absolutely. I think what the Cowboys said early, this Titans defense would get tired. I think it has better protection. They even running the ball a little better.
Colin Allred for the Titans shaken up a bit.
You know, I think the other thing too, Jim, just real quick, you talk about the Tennessee Titans today and the way they've come out and challenged the Dallas Cowboys pass defense. I just say this, I would do this every week for the Titans. You play this style, Chris Johnson is going to make some big plays.
Well, they're going to take a timeout on the field. Allred slow to get off the field. We'll be right back. First to second, second to third. Gonzalez, Sharp, and Newsome. Witten now number 4, 6-time Pro Bowler. As the Cowboys set up at the 18. Romo looks for Roy Williams in traffic down to the 14, maybe the 13.
That was an interesting little adjustment by Tony Romo and Roy Williams. Tony Romo was making eye contact and kind of directing him.
Roy may have been wanting a little face mask here, no?
But good patience by Roy Williams. Really shook the defender, waited, then came inside. That's why Tony Romo threw it so soft.
5 for 60 and a touch for Roy. Bryant on the field for the Cowboys. You can jump ball it with him if you want. 3rd down and 3. And that's Austin. Makes the snag, and the Cowboys are set up goal to go.
It's a game of inches. In the NFL, the windows are very small. What a job by Miles Austin. And just a perfect throw by Tony Romo. Catches it, drifted to his left a little to make the throw easier.
And remember, he's had his first start week 5 last year at Kansas City. So in that 1-year span, if you will, #1 in the league receiving yards and 100-yard games, which he has today. Felix Jones stepping outside and down to the 3. Got away from Chris Hope.
Well, Felix Jones, everybody, oh, he's the fast guy. He goes outside, he catches the screens. But Jim, he's run with power today. waits, takes it outside, breaks Chris Hope's tackle. Michael Griffin takes him for a few extra yards. And when you get those extra yards in the run game, it changes play calling. There's a huge difference in the NFL. 2nd and 4 yards, 5 yards, and then 2nd and 7 yards.
Scott Chandler, backup tight end, lined up as the fullback. Out of the eye, it's Jones, the tailback. 2nd and goal, it's Jones, and he's smothered right at the line of scrimmage. That was Tulloch who came up and held him to no gain. Babin also.
Oh, how about Babin from the left of your screen? Defensive lineman around the edge. Well, that didn't matter. Stephen Tulloch is head on.
Now what will they do? 3rd and goal from the 3.
You got Des Bryant one-on-one.
He's on the left side. Oh, we got flags. We talked to Des Bryant this week. You said you can win a jump ball contest most of the time. Talking about his high school
False
days.
start, 68 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Down at Lufkin High School, the Lufkin Panthers, and he said, you know, the first time I caught a touchdown pass,
It was a jump ball.
first pass I ever took was jump ball.
I go, wow, that's a shot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the Titans, though, real quick, Jim, that last play, they got in the situation. Tony Romo saw Des Bryant against Werner one-on-one, but Werner backed off before the snap of the ball, so they did a good job of baiting the situation, and we're going to give Tony Romo something different.
3rd and goal now from the 8. They go Jones, and there's nowhere to run. Tulloch was all over it. So now the Cowboys will try to tie it. They had 2nd and goal at the 3.
Yep.
Failed to punch it across. You know, the Titans the best in the league this year at red zone defense preventing touchdowns.
You can see why. The speed, that even if you fooled the Tennessee Titans completely there, I don't think you could catch it and get to the end zone before 4 guys would tackle you.
McBriar will hold it. This will be 26 yards for Beeler. Good job by McBriar. 2020 on 10-10. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the game between the Titans and Cowboys. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. The game's tied at 20 here in the 4th quarter. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast. You'll see it at its regularly scheduled time. It's Chris Johnson breaks free. Jenkins has an angle on him, shoves him out, but all the way down to the Dallas 38. Johnson goes over 100 on the day as he races 42 yards this time.
Well, look at that. Just the patience and the speed. Feet, he can dance, he just glides behind the line of scrimmage and he waits to see the opening. And it's like no matter how you play against him, sooner or later he's going to get a big one.
Ringer, his replacement, for only a yard. Saints in trouble in Arizona. Greg Gumbel has the update.
Jim and Phil, Saints at least giving themselves a chance. Drew Brees escapes the pressure, goes up top 35 yards to Robert Meacham. The extra point makes it 23-20. Arizona, a minute 49 to play in regulation.
All right, the immediate update from Greg and company back in the studio. Saints have only 1 timeout left in that one, so they got to recover that onside kick. And they're 2nd and 9. Young dancing around, and he's going down. He is thrown down by Anthony Spencer. That's huge. Backs him up when you got a big leg like Baronis out there. Now you maybe take him, well, you definitely 44-yard line.
Well, what happens, you know, too, Jim, Vince Young picks the side to throw against Terrence Newman. And they've had success against Mike Jenkins. I'm not picking on Mike Jenkins, but when you have success to one side, you keep going there. Because that guy will be guessing. And if anything, he might play conservative.
Have to get to the 28 for a first. Lavelle Hawkins at the top of the screen in as a receiver for Young and company. Young fires and almost intercepted That was Keith Rooking laying out for it. They'll punt here. You can't afford to try some crazy 61-yarder miss and give the Cowboys the football at midfield. So they'll bring out Brett Kern with 8.5 to go. So give up the big run to Chris Johnson, and then the Cowboys shut it down. The big play by Spencer on 2nd down. Kern has not had a fair catch this year. A punt that forced one. This one down at the 10. So they'll mark it at the 11. Gets the job done. 33 yards. Cowboys start deep in their own territory with a game tie.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate. And by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
Well, Part 8 barbecue.
We were there. Not this trip, but trips before. My gosh, you paid for it.
Just waiting for you after the game tonight.
You can't stop eating it. It tastes so good.
It's down from the 12 is the starting point for the Cowboys. Here it's Jones. Gain of 4. When you're heading to the studios midweek inside the NFL, we'll see you then. You and JB and Warren and Chris. Cable's longest running show Wednesday nights. David Faraday, my golf colleague, is going to be in there with you. A special guest appearance along with John McEnroe. So you guys will be ripping it up.
Oh yeah, that'll be interesting. They're going to tell us what we don't know about football.
Faraday will have a few thoughts for you. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be different.
Phrase unlike anything you've ever heard. 2nd and 6. It's taken away. It's Faraday has it. Ball comes out. They rule him down, knee down at the 1. What a play by the rookie from UCLA.
Yeah, the football was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Dave Ball gets his hands up. Oh, what a reaction by Werner. You said it, Jim. The rookie just saw it, reacted to it so fast. And this play happened because they finally took away Jason Witten on that little inside move that he's been making all day long.
Out to run Werner. The helmet, the ball, everything's flying. Kozar recovers for the Cowboys, but they ruled him down at the 1. I don't think there's any question.
Oh yeah, he's definitely down.
Romo suffers a 2nd pick. And that one's coming off a deflection by Ball. So from inside the 1. There's a change. Chris Johnson's in for the touchdown. Titan injured on the play. It looks to be Eugene Amano, the center, who helped clear the path for Johnson from a yard out. We'll be right back. There's the man who got a paw on it that caused the interception that led to the Johnson touchdown. Dave Ball.
Watch. Doug Free goes down so quick to cut him, and that allows Dave Ball to get his hands up and tip the football. The technique that the Tennessee Titans play really helped them there. They get so wide that tackles have to wait for the guy to get to them, and that period of time made Doug Free panic. He goes for the cut block, misses it.
Ball out of UCLA, Werner out of UCLA. They were not teammates. About 6 years apart. But the Bruins come up with a couple of individual efforts that lead to a team lead. Chris Johnson rushing it in for his 5th touchdown of the year. Now we're poised for the extra point try by Baronis. We've got another update. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Jim and Phil all but over in Arizona. Drew Brees trying to rally the Saints. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie with the pick. He'll ramble 28 yards for the touchdown. Final seconds of the fourth quarter. Arizona leading it 30-20.
That Arizona defense scores twice in that game. The Kerry Rhodes fumble return in addition to that interception run back. And the Cardinals, who would have figured, they're 3-2. The Saints dropped to 3-2. Titans would like to walk out of here today 3-2. And the Cowboys, well, they came off a bye. Tony Romo talking to us about how he kind of felt like, you know, the win into the bye down in Houston was a big time performance down there. That the season had kind of restarted. That we're kind of starting anew. It's like a new season. But they are very much in danger here. It's down 7 though, mid fourth quarter. Could drop to 1-3 here if they don't straighten this out.
The margin of error, of course, we know that. It's so slim in the NFL. Little techniques, just like the pass getting tipped by Dave Ball. The technique, if it's wrong, it leads to a play. And everybody always goes, well, it was just 2 plays. Well, every game is like that. They're so close. Which 2 plays is it going to be?
Go out of bounds. Well, it's a mistake by Barones in the second straight kickoff. And that'll set up Dallas at the 40. So the Cowboys get a break there. In the 1 o'clock Eastern time game, some of the headlines: Rice over 100. Couple of touchdowns. Redskins win in overtime. They beat the Packers today. The only touchdown in the Colts-Chiefs game, Mike Hart runs it in. First loss for Kansas City. There's Rice with 133, 2 touchdowns. McNabb 357. And we have no unbeaten team remaining. There's Romo incomplete. You think about the Titans 2 years ago. Went out to a 10-0 start, only to return in 09 to an 0-6 start. This thing much more settled this year. Alan Lowry, the special teams coach for the Titans.
Well, I'm not laughing because you know what? It's big. That's 2 first downs. 2 first downs that the Dallas Cowboys don't have to get because of that kick going out of bounds. And you said it, 2 in a row that he's missed.
Alan Lowry, that's a familiar name around these parts. He's a special teams coach for the Titans, but former Texas Longhorn quarterback of yesteryear. Second down and 10.
Dave Ball, last play, made it incomplete. Went inside, got to Romo.
On the sideline. Nice catch. Roy Williams over the shoulder. With Finnegan at his side. Goes for 27. Pressured by Fuller.
Yeah, it's the blitz from the left. Tony Romo knows it, moves to his right again. How about the throw and catch? And Roy Williams. Watch how late it takes for him to throw his hands up. The ball is there. It's almost past him. And Roy Williams is, I'll never forget, the Cowboys' third preseason game were telling me they thought Roy Williams has changed. He's going to be a big part of the football team, and he has so far this year.
And it's starting to show, isn't it? Here's Romo, big ball for Austin, and Finnegan snug on the coverage. We got a flag, though, in the backfield.
Holding offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Trey Gerard, the center, with a takedown, flag for it.
Middle of your screen, 65. Oh, okay. They had it blocked, but he fell down. Little double move to the outside. Cortland Finnegan all over Miles Austin.
Backs up the Cowboys to the 43. 6:44 to go. Austin with only a couple of short receptions here in the second half. Blind up at the top of the screen. They're going to go run here with Felix Jones. Nice piece of running down to the 30. Got 13 of it back, running behind Jason Witten.
Nice call by Jason Garrett, showing patience. Tennessee play and run. Jason Witten again seals the edge. A couple times today we've seen that. And this Tennessee Titans defense, we told you, it's kind of designed to make you run up inside where you can't go out. But the Cowboys, some good schemes, good blocking. They've done it today.
Trying to lace him up for Jones. He just went over 100 yards for the first time in his career. 100-yard game. Romo in the area of Austin. He had to unload it with Michael Griffin in his face.
Pressure. Michael Griffin, you said it, coming up. Look top of your screen on the blitz. Fights his way through, and they're making Tony Romo anticipate the throws more than ever. You just can't be accurate when you have to do this. Cowboys make a mistake on the blocking. They had two guys there. They blocked the same one.
Romo and the Cowboys face third down. Young watching on the 60-yard long jumbo screen.
I think they'll go for it on fourth.
4-down territory. Romo to Bryant, and Burner rides him down. It's going to be a couple short of the first. Fourth and 2.
Yeah, it's a big decision. I think you go for it. You give your offense this chance, and if they don't make it, another chance to score a touchdown to tie it.
Cowboys did, you recall, use a timeout in the third quarter.
And you know, that was a timeout. They called it because they were confused about the play.
Spread it out with 4 wides. Romo changing things and stepping back to the 30.
Everybody man to man.
Across the middle, it's Austin holding on in the first down for the Cowboys.
I didn't see how Stephen Tulloch got on Miles Austin to the right of your screen. Oh, he's lined up against him man to man. That's pretty good coverage, and it was a little change-up. They've been going outside almost every single time against that defensive look, but Miles Austin came in, stopped, and then took off to the inside. Most teams call it a jerk route. It worked very well.
First and 10 from the Titans 18. Witten at the 5 and in for the touchdown. Jason Witten and the Cowboys an extra point away from tying it with 4.5 to go.
I don't see the flag, Jim.
Around the end zone in a celebration.
A celebration
15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Against the Cowboys.
Yep. And it's a penalty because it involved 2 players. Witten catching it, giving it to the offensive lineman. Mark Colombo, I think it was, number 75, who spiked it.
Well, that's a big one.
Oh, it's huge. Huge. And I'll tell you what, it just Wolves. They were excited, but
got to get the point after first.
Jim, it just comes down to this. They didn't know that was a penalty. That's why they did it. And it's 15 yards on the kickoff.
Well, that'll take it back to kicking it at the 15. It's the Titans in a very good position. Presumably off the
start. 68 offense. 5-yard penalty. Try.
Now Beeler will try a 25-yard extra point. That's it. You're exactly right. Can't team up in the league anymore and do this.
No.
Little chest thump. Somehow Witten knocked over Colombo. They're going to knock him back 15 yards on the kick, too. Extra point Romo has 392 yards passing.
Yep.
He's tied a career high today, Phil.
Well, it's a good call. Jason Witten right up the seam. It's a zone defense. Man-to-man is not working against the Cowboys, so they change it up. And as soon as Tony Romo lined up, he knew they were going to be in this zone defense. He knew the hole. The hole is either to the left side or the right side to Miles Austin, where it's going to be wide open. He picks Jason Witten, who gets the touchdown. And, you know, it's going to be a big deal if this turns out to be the play that loses the game for the Cowboys. And, you know, the outcry is going to be, oh, I can't believe they called it a penalty. Well, yeah, it's not an extreme case, but you know, if you let the players get involved, then all we would hear about is end zone celebration.
That was really a rule that was enacted 2 years ago. Took a lot of those like multiple player celebrations, took it out of the mix.
But because it gets out of hand.
Yep.
And then it becomes all they talk about all week. Oh, we got a great celebration plan.
Well, it is the rule.
Yeah, it's the rule now, and they had to clean it up.
There's a man on the competition committee right there, Jeff Fisher.
I think quite honestly nowadays you probably have to take a little time every week to go over certain rules with the players.
Be careful here now. You see some sun rays at the other end. Mariani will be fielding this, looking into the sun. He's shielding his eyes right now. He's fumbled twice on kicks this year, the rookie from Montana. Looking into the sun here. Clean catch. Good run. Look out. Mariani taken off at the Cowboy 30. The kicker has him with a flag down, probably a face mask on the back end of it. A teammate at Montana of Coach Jeff Fisher's son, Brandon Mark Mariani, racing it all the way down to the Cowboy 11, a 73-yard run back.
Personal foul, face mask, 18, the kicking team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
He's set up at about the 5. Last week he had the high of a 98-yard run back and the low of mishandling one at the end that really iced it for the Broncos. This kid in the top 10 in the league in both punt return and kick return averaging.
The Titans drafted him for this purpose so he could be a return man, and they put him out there during the preseason, and he basically let him return every single kick.
He's taken in the 7th round. Well, what a run back it was. Young over the head of Washington with Newman on the coverage.
Terrence Newman said it a couple times, say it one more time. How about his game today? Had some good tackles, but his coverage, excellent.
Yep, been very snug.
Injuries are about the only thing that's kept him from being mentioned as one of the top corners in the NFL.
2nd and goal. They go Johnson. Right side into a wall, and the wall's being pushed down to the 1.
Took that whistle a long time to blow because the pile never stopped moving. There's nothing there. Everybody's got their guy. They held him up, but the thing is, no Cowboy defender gets off the block, so the Tennessee Titans keep moving the pile.
3rd and goal from the 1.
Vince Young over the top.
It's Johnson over the top. Touchdown, Tennessee.
I like this run, the little cut back. Designed to do that. So hard to go straight ahead in the NFL anymore in those short yardage situations.
You know, a year ago, that was Lindell White's. That was his job. Get that last yard. Plow ahead or go over the top. Johnson now with a couple of touchdown runs in this quarter. Coronas makes it 34-27. Mariani set it up with a 73-yard run back. Dallas with 3:28 to go and 2 timeouts. Tonight on CBS, it's all new, beginning with 60 Minutes, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, CSI Miami on a new night tonight on America's #1 network, CBS.
I'll tell you, you say Mariani set it up. The penalty set it up. You know why? Because if you look at the kickoff, he tried to kick it extra hard. He kicked it lower. It just changed the dynamics of the Cowboys kickoff team. It was more spread out. It even looked like, you watch up here, you go, wow, that's a lot of room to cover.
Mariani out there on the kick coverage team for the Titans now.
Boy, know your role on the football team, and it's so important for all these teams now to have a guy that fits every little role. And Tennessee Titans, they have a guy in the kicking game now, Mariani.
Now the Cowboys have a rookie returner as well, a Quasi. Wasuansa.
There you go.
Let me hear you give it.
Owusu-Ansah.
Close enough.
There you go.
A Quasi.
Owusu-Ansah.
Cowboy coaches go by. Oh, he's got to run it out now. Boy, he waited for a while, didn't he? Back to the 24. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rolls out regional action. Many of you will see Baltimore and New England. We'll be there in Pottsboro to bring it to you. Some good games in the lineup here. Miami, Green Bay, Kansas City, Houston. Late, some of you will see the Jets at Denver or the Oakland game against San Francisco, all starting at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today on CBS.
Well, this is not a do-or-die drive because of the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts by the Cowboys. But the Tennessee Titans defense, they know a sack, anything negative, just they need one play and the game could be over.
Jones look left, goes for a backup option in Felix Jones. Got about 3 out of it.
And what it does for the Tennessee Titans defensive line, I don't know if they ever care anyway, but they don't care about any run game. They are going to go all out to the quarterback every play.
On a 2nd and 7. Romo almost intercepted. Will Witherspoon. Oh, and a flag is thrown. Did you see it, Phil?
No, I did not. I know one thing, there were a lot of defenders there to get in the way of that Jason Witten pass.
The pass was thrown in the secondary. Let's see what Triplett has. They may pick it up.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 55 in the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Tullett called for that.
Jason Witten to the right of his screen. Witten going up the seam. You think he's there, but look at the conversion.
That's the penalty.
Yep.
Do you agree with that call?
It's tough. Do I agree? If it was me, no, I would not have thrown the flag. But it wasn't me.
Brings the football to the 42 and a first down. Take the draw, they go to Bryant. Give him an open field. He's dangerous. And another flag down. This went in the area where the ball was caught. Maybe it was one of those blockers out in front of him. He got 9, maybe 10 out of it.
Pass interference, offense, number 19. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the Cowboys retreat back to the 32 on the penalty on Austin.
Pass interference against Miles Austin because they're saying he was making contact with the defender and blocking before the football was in the air. And it was a good call because he absolutely was.
Cowboys have been flagged 6 times in this quarter. Have a 1st and 20. Romo, that one's out of bounds. Finnegan airtight on Roy Williams.
Watch Miles Austin, 19, in the slot. He's engaging against the defender Fuller before the football was in the air.
Austin otherwise having a huge game. 9 catches, 166, and a touchdown.
And just for people watching, why is that a penalty? It would be like a pick. That's why you can't run and hit the guy covering somebody before the ball is thrown.
Romo, shovel pass, and Jones squirms to the 42. Now the Cowboys go into the break, beating the Houston Texans into their bye, and now trying to come out of the bye with a win against the old Houston Oilers, the Tennessee Titans. And the Titan without all the equipment, Tony Brown.
Gosh.
The official's timeout as the player had lost his helmet.
It was sitting on the field. I didn't see it. Jeff Triplett had it in his hand. Oh, there it is. It comes off. Yeah, though this is the last play.
Yep. And he never able to
No, then he has to
get it
line
back in
back up.
time. Yeah. Tony Brown just keeps on going. Crowd's unhappy with the fact that the Titans basically got a time out of it, but the Cowboys get a playoff before the 2-minute warning.
Well,
anyway.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I
Don't
wouldn't
rush
either.
it. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Oh, it was in and out of the hands of Witten. Witherspoon.
Got his hand in there
He
and knocked
did.
it out.
He stripped it away, denied it. 2-minute warning. 4th and 9 coming up out of the 2-minute break. Wade Phillips pacing on that Cowboys sideline. Romo's over 400 for the first time in his career, but he's going to need a little more than 9 yards to keep the Cowboys in the game. Actually, if they fail to convert here, the math adds up for you, Phil, that the Cowboys still could get the ball back.
Oh, yeah, they'll get it. They could get it back if they stopped them. But you look at this. With the Titans blitz, I would say no. You got tremendous pass rushers. Why take the chance with the blitz? Put the extra guys in pass coverage.
In the pocket with time. Witherspoon almost made the pick. And Chuck Cecil's defense makes the play. That was intended for Witten. 1:54 to go. Cowboys have 2 timeouts to stop the clock.
Yeah, play they've been running all day, and that is just an excellent job by Witherspoon. How about that? Just sitting on it, knew the down and distance, played it correctly. Jason Witten trying a little spin out move, and good job. The Cowboys did a good job giving Tony Romo the extra time. They kept the back end, but good coverage down the field.
Cowboy defense has to stop him here. It's got Chris Johnson, who is held on by the shirt tail by Sean Lee. We got another update out of New York. Back to you, Greg Gumbel.
Jim and Phil, how about those Oakland Raiders at home? Michael Bush, 3-yard touchdown run. They missed the 2-point conversion. Oakland leads it by 1. San Diego fighting to get into field goal range. They're at the 2-minute warning in Oakland.
Great update. Thank you, Greg.
Let me just say this about the Titans today. If they go ahead and win this game, think how they got it done. Vince Young, some big pass plays. The receivers came through. Chris Johnson with the big runs. The pass rush. They've intercepted a couple. And then they did it on special teams too, Jim. So, you know, they look at every phase and go, hey, everybody contributed if they can hold on.
Well, these last 2 touchdown drives they had, one off the pick was a 1-yard drive, if you will, and one off the kick return plus the face mask penalty was a 5-yard drive. Cowboys used one of their timeouts there, so it's a 2nd and 3, 1 timeout for the Cowboys. Chris Johnson, and the Cowboys wrap him up. Sean Lee for the second straight play. And another timeout used by Dallas, their last one. Look now, Tennessee in that AFC South trying to make it a four-way tie through 5 weeks if it can hold on and win here. Meanwhile, the NFC East is also jumbled. The Redskins with that win today over Green Bay, 3-2. Giants win down at Houston impressively. Philadelphia plays at San Francisco tonight. The Cowboys in danger of falling to 1-3. You know, Wade Phillips tied his dad, legendary Bum Phillips, total wins down at Houston 2 weeks ago. Was trying to top him in total wins today against the old Houston team his dad used to coach. And his dad, the great Bum Phillips, has got a book out right now. Bum Phillips, Coach Cowboy Christian. He's back home going back and forth with the clicker. Wade assured us between every play. Still coaching him up down on his ranch. Third down. And the Cowboys are going to get the ball back. Anthony Spencer bringing down Chris Johnson.
Yeah, they'll get it under a minute. And, you know, Jim, it goes back to this, too. It's easy to we got all the answers, you know, after the facts are in. But we say it every week. The NFL, so many games are close. The Cowboys using that timeout because they didn't get lined up correctly or whatever on offense at one time. It just shows you second half timeouts are gold. And you don't use them. Sometimes it's better to take the 5-yard penalty than it is to use your timeout. Because just think, if they had it, all the scenarios here would change quite a bit.
Jeff Fisher takes a timeout with just a second to go on the play clock. 58 seconds on the game clock. Going to call on Brett Kern now, trying to pin the Cowboys down there around the 10 or even deeper.
See, I like this. You notice that more and more teams are not taking the penalties when they want to punt in situations like this because they want to get. Everybody's doing such a good job of kicking it. These punters end over end. Now they have less room to go down and get ready to catch the ball once it bounces.
Makes everything a little more congested
Absolutely.
and compact.
Absolutely. Just think about it. It's just easier. In the old days when the punters were trying to turn it over, they'd get them back as far as they could because it always bounced in the end zone.
Old days used to be the old coffin corner back in your days.
You're right. Kick it out of bounds.
That see that worked anymore. Yep. Well, that's gone. Here we go with Kern. Straight up in the air, not very deep. And a backwards bounce.
And you can pick it up. Yeah, don't do that. Don't slap it.
I think we'll mark it up there.
Where it's first touch.
Yep, the 20-yard line.
See, the Cowboys, why you don't do that, somebody could run full speed, pick it up, and run, and really have nothing go wrong for him. If he fumbles it, wouldn't matter. They'd still get it back there.
47 seconds and no timeouts. Romo and the Cowboys out yardaging the Titans by almost 200 yards today. They got 511 yards.
Giants did the same thing. Had tons of yardage. The game is over. They still lost to the Tennessee Titans.
Romo steps up and he's picked. The game is going to end right here as Tulloch takes it down the sideline, and they're a kneel down away from going to 3-2.
The Titans win because they made more big plays.
Stephen Tulloch steps in with the theft, and the Cowboys are going to slump to 1-3.
Yeah, this is taking one for the team. Tony Romo knows the chances of this being complete are very little, but you throw it in there anyway. I mean, Jim, quite honestly, Tony Romo played very well today. But 3 interceptions, that's what they'll talk about.
They had the first 400-yard game for a Cowboy since Aikman did it back in '98, and that's it. We'll shake hands, and the Cowboys drop to 1-3. Titans make it a 4-way tie in the AFC South at 3-2. big road win for a team that embarked on a 6-week stretch with only one game at home in that span. A victory in Dallas. This franchise in history had only won here on 3 occasions, all on Thanksgiving Day. Today, they take care of business in Dallas. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.